Marriage to me always meant loyalty and communication. I worked hard, made sure my wife, Emily, had everything she needed. I thought she was happy. But lately, her circle of divorced friends had started influencing her. They whispered poison into her ears about freedom, independence, and teaching husbands lessons. I ignored it at first, until the day she took their advice too far. It began one Friday evening. I came home from work to a strangely silent house. No note, no text, no call. The kids were at my parents', so it was just me. Hours passed. Midnight came. No sign of Emily. My calls went straight to voicemail. By morning, I was panicking. Then finally, a single text arrived. "Don't worry about me. I'll be gone for a week. Maybe then you'll learn to appreciate me." My hands shook as I read it. She had actually done it. Vanished for a week on the advice of her bitter divorced friends. Not a word about where she was going, who she was with, or why she thought this was acceptable. Just arrogance. Just contempt. At first, I was devastated. Then I grew suspicious. Nobody disappears like that without a reason. And my gut told me this wasn't about teaching me a lesson. It was about her being with someone else. So I acted carefully. I checked our bank account. In the last 48 hours, she had withdrawn cash in small amounts, likely to avoid leaving a trail. But one charge slipped through. A late-night gas station purchase 3 towns away. I followed the trail, and with a few calls, I confirmed what I feared. She wasn't on some independence retreat. She was at a lake cabin with a man. I didn't confront her immediately. Instead, I gathered evidence. I contacted a private investigator who staked out the cabin, capturing photos of Emily wrapped in another man's arms, laughing like she hadn't in months. Each photo cut me, but each one also sharpened my resolve. A week later, she returned home as if nothing had happened. She walked in with a smug smile and said, "Did you miss me? Maybe now you understand how much you depend on me." I stared at her silently. She expected me to beg, to apologize, to shower her with attention. Instead, I handed her a plain envelope. Inside were the photographs, neatly printed, time-stamped. Her face went pale. She dropped the envelope on the floor and stammered, This isn't what it looks like." I cut her off. "It's exactly what it looks like. While I stayed home worried sick, you were out with him. Your friends told you to disappear for a week to teach me a lesson? Congratulations. The lesson is that I don't need a wife who betrays me." Tears welled up in her eyes, but I felt nothing. I had already spoken to a lawyer. Divorce papers were ready, and the evidence was airtight. When the papers hit her hands, she screamed, begged, even cursed her friends for making her do it. But the damage was done. The judge saw everything: the affair, the abandonment, the lies. I won primary custody of the kids and kept most of our assets. She left the house with a suitcase and nowhere to go. Her so-called friends? They abandoned her too. None of them wanted to deal with her downfall. The man she cheated with ghosted her the second the divorce became public. She went from smug arrogance to desperate loneliness in a matter of weeks. Months later, she showed up at my door, crying, asking me to take her back. She said she realized her mistake, that her friends ruined her life. I looked at her and calmly said, "No, Emily. You ruined your life the moment you walked out that door." And then I closed it, once and for all. Today, I raise my kids in peace, free from the games, the arrogance, and the betrayal. And whenever I think back to that text, "I'll be gone for a week to teach you a lesson," I smile. Because the only lesson learned was hers.